Like, I really, it's a mix of frustration, because I need to talk, for serious, like for real. Before the stream, actually, if I wouldn't have been interrupted, I've been interrupted like 5 times now since I came here. I started working on a video, without any editing, literally just talking, about all the shit that has happened and all of the baggage, without going too much into detail, of course, but just I wanted to talk about why it's so difficult to get uploads up. And I was on a roll. I was on a roll with this the other, like, literally 2 hours ago. I've been flailing on my computer. I've had a friend visit me that hasn't come and visited in months. He came down here. That was weird. People have been playing stuff upstairs. The dog's been barking. When the dog barks, you can hear him, because he's that loud. His bark penetrates the whole house. It's crazy. A lot of stuff, and of course, not just my friend, but multiple visitors. So I have not been able to get any privacy, so I'm gonna do it right here with you all. And I don't know if the title screen of Devil May Cry 5 is a good place for that. but where is... Tell me, where is a good place? Like, to have a real discussion. Okay, so I got a lot to talk about, but I don't know where to start, and I think I'm going to start by saying I do not want to make a history of doing this. I've realized this is like the third or fourth time. I think this is the fourth time, where I've needed to vent heavily on stream. And I don't want to make that a habit. As much as it like, as nice as it is, I don't want to seem like poor me, you know? I don't. I hate that. If I had everything figured out and all the strength to do everything, everything would be right is right, but it's not. And unfortunately, here I am again, unable to upload for a good while. And I can't help but think about the update video that I did on YouTube 8 months ago now, where when I did that, when I uploaded that video, I took a lot of time, and what I thought at the time was everything. But in reality, it only scratched the surface of the stupid shit I've had to go through. I want to talk about Dark Souls for a second. Okay? I love Dark Souls. I do. I do. I wouldn't have played it for as long as I did if I didn't enjoy it in some way. I did. Less as time went on, but I loved it enough because of the community I got to meet and all the nice people that I got to meet. Hell, I think almost all of you here met me from something Souls, so I obviously don't hate it. But it is really, really discouraging. Or maybe that's not the word. I feel very confined, and have felt very confined, to making one style of content for a long time. Anything that wasn't Souls related would get, hardly any views, and maybe I would put 10 times the effort into it. And that seems... I know that that's something on YouTube that you need to not do, but in an attempt to make... I'm going to explain why this is different. In an attempt to make this my job, I had a goal at one time to get every video to 1,000 views. And when I first started, because it's not about views, I couldn't care less if it got anything more than 1,000, because 1,000 is a key number in YouTube's system. You can't even appeal a copy-struck video on YouTube if it doesn't have 1,000 views. If it doesn't have 1,000 views, it reminds me of like how all the videos need to be at least 10 minutes to have ads. If it doesn't have 1,000 views, and 2 years later, a company comes along and copy strikes it, you cannot appeal it because it never made that quota. And because it's 2 years old, there's like no chance it ever will. And that really sucks. I have never said and talked about that to anybody, but I cannot express how frustrating that is. About a month ago, too, there was a company that was going through my YouTube videos. No, this was 2 months ago, actually, sorry. All the days, they blend together. There was a company that was going through my videos, not only copyright striking them, but getting rid of them completely, meaning you cannot see them anymore. Even one of my Dark Souls videos, it had like, I don't know how much my force casting glitch video had, I'm sure I could go look it up, but the force casting glitch video that I made is gone. For everyone but me. I'm sorry, I had to stop for dramatic effect there. I'm stupid, I'm sorry. Fucking YouTube as a whole... Oh, Trollger, you took the words out of my mouth. YouTube as a whole is so frustrating that on top of just trying, like... compounding that with having to do the same style of content... I don't want to do it. That's why I haven't done it. I want to do other things, but then I feel like I need to do other things, and then nothing gets done, and I get sad. But I cannot express to you how awful it feels to have something that you worked very hard on. Let me tell you about one of the things that got copyright stricken. It was called... It is Troll and Thanny. Oh, okay. It was called, Stop Picking Out Me. It was my... Stop Picking Out Me? What? Stop Picking On Me. That's what it was called. It was an Outlast 2 short I did, just for fun. I spent all night the night that I did it. I was having a lot of fun with Outlast 2, but I got sidetracked in Soul stuff, and a couple months later, when I wanted to come back to it and finish the series, no joke, I get a copyright claim on the video. Now this is long after I don't have the files on my PC anymore. They're gone. If I want to take this, like, I cannot take this, this little video I made because it's synced to a song that they decided not to claim until months later, and I can't appeal for fair use because it doesn't have 1,000 views. It's so... It's really frustrating, and I try not to talk about it for a while, but I think that needs to come out into the air, because that is... YouTube as a whole is so frustrating, and I would love nothing more than to go back to the old days of when I just made random stuff on YouTube and had a blast with it, but it just feels like I have to jump through so many hoops, that it's torture. And I can't help but feel like YouTube doesn't do anything because they're roped into some contract. You know, like they just let their copyright system be so bad that it's just run by company. Anyone can just go and flag your entire video. They're having 2-3 seconds of music audio. That's not fair. It would be okay if, like, you got, what, like a 1/12 of the monetization for the video, but no, they take everything. And some videos I don't have the files for. They're so old. And a couple months ago, some Japanese company went to each of my videos, all of them, every single one. I could tell, I could feel them in my channel. Like, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but no joke, I kept getting copyright claims from as far back as possible to sooner so I could feel them, copyright striking and removing them from YouTube for having a little bit of .hack music. If anyone knows me, I love the .hack series, and I love the music, especially. Knowing that I can never use .hack music in any of my videos again really angers me. But what angers me more is I would have been fine with those videos being demonetized as they were ancient, but they're removed! You can't see them! And a couple of them I technically could salvage, but if I re-download them from the website, they will be less quality than they were originally, so I'm just kind of, I don't really know what to do with those videos. I've just got a lot of footage on my hard drive that I've wanted to edit, but YouTube being the sorry excuse for a platform that it is, I haven't wanted to. And I felt guilty about that. Because I know you guys want me to. And to an extent, I do too. Believe it or not, as much of a meme as it became, I still did want to make Souls content. I wrote scripts of things I wanted to do in Souls content. I want to cry. I'm not gonna, though, because I'm mad. I wrote these big scripts and all these things. They're still waiting. I could make them, but because I can't make anything else, I don't want to do that. I'm just at a standstill. It feels like anything I want to make is just at the mercy of the YouTube gods. And then there's Dark Souls stuff, and too much of anything is bad, and I've been doing it for 3 years. I have a confession to make. When the camera's off, and I stop streaming, when the video's uploaded, and I'm not talking comments, I think about all of this. And I think about what is the next thing. What is the next thing to do? I never stop thinking about it. I never stop thinking about all, like, how YouTube is promoting so much garbage on YouTube. And there's a lot of genuinely good channels, but I'm talking about the channels that are exclusively to kids, like Hype Beast channels, like Jake Paul. Just nothing with good substance. I know there is. I know, I've seen it. I spend a lot of my time watching YouTube. But I never stop thinking about what would the next thing be. And I just don't take a break. Do you ever take... No. No, I don't. I thought I was, but... on honestly closer inspection, when you spend all of your time thinking about all the things that you could do, all the ideas still swirling in your head, not able to take a step, you drive yourself crazy. And it's been getting really bad lately. You know when you daydream so hard that you believe that it was real for a second? I mean, that's only recent, but that's really scary. Thinking about things that I could do, and I have gotten so good at thinking about things that it almost feels real, and then I snap back to reality. Almost like an intense daydream. I'm driving myself crazy. Thinking about all that. I want to make more skits. Like being the boss. But not just in Dark Souls, in any game. I've had so many, I cannot tell you how many ideas I've had over the years, over the 3 years, and I don't even want to talk about 2018 because 2017 to 2018 was so bad, I've actually mentally blocked out most of those years. They were bad., like, my grandma died, for one. She, 2018 to 2018 was so bad, I've actually mentally blocked out most of those years. They were bad. They, like, my grandma died, for one. She, 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 like, my grandma died was my best friend as a kid. May she rest in peace. That was horrible, and that only scratches the surface. Why'd you remind me? I'm sorry, I can't believe it's 2019 either. I can't. I was gonna sit down and record me saying this, but I couldn't, and now here I am. Finally, the house is quiet, and I can just talk like this, and it feels good. But when I'm done, it's just gonna be the same thing, and I don't want that anymore. I don't want that worry. I just want to... Maybe I just need to prove it to myself that if I take a risk, even though YouTube is as shitty as it is, if I take a risk and I do these things, maybe they will pay off. You never know. I've made a lot of friends since then, but I guys, I can't stand still anymore. I've been standing still for so long, I feel like I'm gonna jump out of my own skin. Off the topic, Mission 8 Demon King, that's pretty ironic title. This mindset has only gotten worse over the years. And I've proceeded to stop doing more and more to the point where I need to take a stand or I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy. And not in a good way. Not in a happy way. I just need to stop thinking. Honestly, thinking so much is doing me more harm than good. I think about things, and then I instantly think of, like, super negative things. Immediately when it comes to YouTube. And that's not good. It's bad enough I used to do YouTube with my ex. That's a baggage in its own. But, I don't know, boys. I don't know. Let me tell you something. Okay? If you ever want to get into this job, then don't ever stop. Because when you stop, it's so hard to convince yourself to move again. Just imagine being covered in wax. And the moment you start standing still, you freeze. And if you do it for too long, you're so stagnant that 3 years have gone by. You harden into a fucking statue. And then the only thing that can move is your thoughts. Why do you think I stream? I hate to say it. This way of thinking has bled just a little bit, not nearly as much, but just a little bit into streaming too. Which is why I've taken a couple breaks from Twitch. I'm happy to be streaming Devil May Cry to even one person. It feels good, and I need to stop neglecting that part of me, and I'm trying to. What am I gonna do? You know, I wanted to make the video talking, and I had no idea what to... like, what I was gonna call it, what the meaning was gonna be, how it was gonna end. And as janky and nasty as YouTube is, I don't want it to be the end. I don't want to let YouTube get the best of me as it has. There's gotta be something. But if I do this again, if I get out of my sarcophagus I've laid myself to rest in, and I start making videos again, and something like the Stop Picking on Me video happens a couple months down the line, something I worked passionately on that I cannot touch because YouTube decided to not help its creators. I don't know. But it's better than wasting away here. I say here as in, like, by myself. When I'm with you guys, I feel more alive than I do the rest of the day. Take that as what you will. I'm sure some people might think that that's dumb, but I am very thankful to have any company. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, and I'm sorry. Man, they've been more active upstairs than in months. Like, I can still hear someone walking around. It's crazy. They know I'm streaming. That's it. Yep. They know I'm streaming, so they're like, "Oh my god!" That's the fan club rallying outside, demanding more Dark Souls. They're stream sniping you. No! No! That would be... Swatting sounds awful. Like, why would anyone do that to someone? Oh my god. There are some people in my server that know my phone number and could swat me. I'm trying to make the situation a bit lighter. I know it's not light at all, but that's just how I've been coping with all this. Just making jokes about it for a long time. The only reason I never bothered making videos is because I hate how YouTube handles these kinds of things and just don't want to put up with that bullshit. It sucks. Like, it really does. And because YouTube supports quantity over quality, it is even harder for a passionate creator to make a living nowadays. Unless you have a massive audience. Unless you've powered through it. Unless you've staken your way through it. I never really realized this. But there was one time, I've tried to be myself my entire YouTube career, but I've noticed watching certain YouTubers more than others, like at certain times, it's helped shape some of my content. And I remember the first person I tried, like I didn't know what to do with Dark Souls runs. I looked to Lobos Jr. I was like, whoa, this guy, I love his runs, they're so fun. I never watched them all the way through. I definitely can't now, because sitting down for a super long YouTube video most of the time is boring. You know what I mean? I gotta do something, unless it's a really cool video. Like, Milk sent me a couple. But I decided, I was like, I saw that he would upload like 4 hours. He would upload 4 hours of Dark Souls. Or the entire stream, the entire 8 hours worth. And I thought that was bad, because I was like, well, it's impractical. Like, for anyone normal to watch it, they would play in the background, you know what I mean? So, I'm back in the day, I loved making videos so much, I would go through an entire hour-long section Oh, Ragtime, I'm sorry. I need to read what you said, but hold on one second. I would spend the entire... I would cut a giant hour slab part out, right? Then I would manually watch the entire hour, which, by the way, is an hour of time, like of real time. I would watch the whole thing. And that would take, like, double time, because I'm sitting there editing and putting little snippets that will never get noticed by anyone. But I used to do that, and I loved it. But quickly, I got so much footage from Dark Souls that the only way I was going to get it out is if I uploaded either, you know, like 2 parts a day, or just, yeah, it'd have to be like 2 parts a day. And rendering time is double, so that means about 2 hours worth of rendering time. Yeah. And then going through the video itself would take about an hour, and there you go, that's like 3 hours. I would spend my whole day editing. That got out of hand so fast. I couldn't keep up, especially with all the emotional drama in my life at the time. And I stopped. That was actually my very first break from YouTube, and I was gone for months. And I felt so bad. I'll be honest here, this is the worst year of my life. I'm ready to kill myself sometimes. When I think about it, Discord and my online friends are the only thing keeping me sane. Please just don't give up. Oh, Ragtai, I really appreciate that. I would fucking miss you, dude. Don't kill yourself. I know life is hard as hell. Like, life doesn't owe anyone anything. But the reason we don't kill ourselves is because we realize that there's some beauty in the world at the end of the day, right? That whether that be friends, whether that be a nice sunset, a nice sunrise, your dog, your cat, your pet, your bird, I don't... And... And then life has this way of making you forget that all those things exist. I know. I know. It's all been self-inflicted, though. I've known this, but I haven't really known how to deal with it. So I feel like talking about it on stream, unedited, on camera, will help me to say that this has just been... I haven't been handling this right, and not having a break ever from this is just... Every time I play a game, I will always think, oh, that would have been great if I streamed it, or oh, I should be streaming right now. And that's... I miss the days where I used to play games by myself. You know, just for fun. I mean, I love playing games for you guys. It's stellar, but just... It would be nice to do that, and I can't shake that feeling of, like, I shouldn't be doing that anymore. It's gonna be hard to take a step anyway. Like I said about, like, the wax analogy earlier, I've been stagnant for so long, I'm basically concrete, and I need to do something. And I did. I went to college the other day, a couple colleges in my neighborhood. One of them in particular I went to because they had an acting program, and one of the professors there wanted to talk to me about voice acting and getting into that department, and that's cool. I'll be doing that the 29th. I don't know what day that is, but I won't be on that day. 29th. I can't be like, oh, something's gonna happen. Probably nothing's gonna happen, but at least it's something. It's something. I've wanted to be a voice actor for years, and similarly to YouTube, I've let the premise of, oh, it's just so hard to, it's just so hard to get in. Why even try? And that is so bullshit. That's so bullshit. I'm sorry. It's just when you realize that you've been thinking like that for so long, it's sickening. Because I have been. And now that I'm thinking about it, at least that's something. That's more than I was doing. Although, to be fair, I've been doing a shitload of thinking and not doing anything, so at least this step is a step. It's something. It's something. I'm going to see that professor, and hopefully he has good news, or she. No, actually, I think it was a she. She has good news. But I can't just keep thinking all these really cool thoughts. It's just disturbing, like I said. Thinking all of these cool thoughts that I would want to do, and then it was such a powerful daydream that I come back to reality. My soul settles back in my carcass, and I realize I'm still in the same place, doing the same stuff. You know what I liked? I liked streaming Resident Evil 2. That had a great amount of viewers, too. But you know what? You know what really separates that from, like, your normal stream? Besides enjoying it so much, because it was a fucking awesome remaster. I stubbed my toe. And I stubbed it so hard I actually ripped my nail off on the way back. And it hurt like hell. Yeah, it hurts as badly as you think. It's just my pinky toe. Ow. But the point is, even though that happened, I cleaned it off, and I still went back and finished my first playthrough. It was awesome. It was right at the end, and I was like, damn it! I was like, this really hurts. But you know what? And I didn't realize it. I was having so much fun with that game, and you guys, I loved that. I did. Luckily, all of that footage is on Thanitose, except for a long time, I have been unlisting all of the content on Thanitose, my forgotten second channel. Maybe it wouldn't be forgotten, but I've unlisted things for so long, I didn't know when to, like, relist them. There's so many videos there. I should just flip the switch and start anew. For those, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's like 100. Easy. Forgotten. Okay, forgotten by most people. Milk, I don't expect you to forget anything. No, a funny story. I don't like regular acting. I mean, I don't hate it, but I prefer voice acting a lot more because I like to sit down a lot. I used to be in acting, like, classes and I all the plays, like all the local theaters and plays, and I loved that. I did. But it grew stale. And the reason it grew stale was because it didn't, like, it fit. You know, I'm not trying to pat my own back. You know, when you're good at something but you don't want to do it. It's like that. I was alright at acting, and I didn't like it. But voice acting is so much cooler because you can breathe life into any character you can possibly think of, even if it's just a nobody. You got to voice that nobody, and that's so cool. That's so cool to me. Even though I would love to, like, voice a villain one day. Dressing up and acting like a cop that's been played 1,000,000 times on stage it's just not, I don't know. I wouldn't be as happy doing that as I would be doing voice acting. And that's what I think right now. Is that weird? A lot of actors say that voice acting and regular acting go hand in hand, that you cannot be a voice actor without being a regular actor. Well, they don't understand that you can still be an actor without being an actor. You don't have to get on stage and parade around in some wacky costume when developing mannerisms and proper speech and really fitting whatever character is all in practice. It's just like learning an instrument. But the instrument is your vocal cords. And you just need to know how to tune them right. How to play them on key. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? An anime waifu. Okay, so there was this one skit on YouTube I saw, and there was this cute anime girl that came in. Every other character before this one was appropriately voiced, and this was a skit, by the way. This was not like an actual anime. But then this like lolly girl comes in with this like man voice, and she's like, "I'm a boy." Oh my god, it was so funny. "I'm a boy," and they were like, "Nuh-uh," and he was like, "Wanna see?" And he lifts up his skirt, and then the guy's like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh!" Like it slowly got loud. It was funny. You have to be there. Hmm. I think you should get hired by a gaming company or something since you have a really good voice. I thought that the only way I was gonna get hired for a voice like... Here's another thing. I have tried talking to YouTubers before. I've even gotten some replies back. And then nothing happened beyond those, like, initial replies. "Oh, I'll message you if I need you." In all honesty, it just sounded like they were being nice. But I think that being the boss is just not a good enough video to demonstrate voice skill. I would need to do a lot more and make a diploma or something. Not a diploma, a resume? Is that it? Yeah. Demo reel? There we go. I'd have to make a demo reel and then give it to them, maybe. See, YouTube is all about... Highlight reel, that works, yeah. YouTube's all about being friendly with the community. You're supposed to, like, be able to branch and meet people, and I have met good people, and actually one person, I don't know if he's still here, Silent Smiler, is the only person... Actually, he's the second only other person to actually want to do... I'm sorry, I lost track there. A video with me, but unfortunately I apologized to him and said I couldn't do it, but at the time I was unable to because of emotional issues that I didn't fully understand. One thing I did do, though, was people on the server know Lerno. I made a video with Lerno. In fact, I wrote the script with Lerno. I was like, all right, Lerno, we gotta make this Dark Soulsy. So here's what I'm gonna do. He gave me a base script. It sucked. No, I'm just kidding. We did a lot of work on it, and I helped him make the script that I would say, and then I voiced those in one take, just like being the boss. It was a great video. I loved that video. That's when I don't really like videos on YouTube. I liked that and favorited it because Lerno did a great job with the visuals and such. But the point of that was I messaged another YouTuber. Anyone that you collab with that's bigger than you can help you grow for sure. Someone like... does anyone remember the Dork Souls parody? The creator that made Dork Souls? I messaged him. He answered me very politely and nicely, but I never heard anything from him. I also messaged the girl that was making, what was it? It was like that... at the Has-Been Hotel. I wanted to get into that because their animation team working on the Has-Been Hotel looked wonderful. I didn't even get a reply. And that barely scratches the surface, man. Like, I'm in this rut where I feel like I need to make more videos to establish a better name for myself, but I don't want to make more videos on YouTube because YouTube's going to treat me like shit. And I can't keep making Dark Souls videos without being able to make other videos in between. You know what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line. Yeah, Vivzy Pop, that was her name. I messaged her, and I never got a reply back. I had high hopes for that. I wanted to see if I could help her, because I thought that art was outstanding. I thought her creation was super cool, but what can you do if you don't get a reply? Yeah, Matthew Shesman. He at least replied to me and said, "Oh, if I can find something, I will." But I'm sure I'm long forgotten about. I don't have an established name for myself. Like I said, do I make more YouTube videos and just run the risk of, you know, and power through all the negativity I've developed over the years about YouTube because it treats its creators like shit? Do I just do it anyway and hope that I break out? It just sounds like madness. I don't want to run on a hamster wheel. I want to run down the street, and then down the next street, and then down the next street, and then down the next street, and then down the highway, and then onto the freeway, which is just another term for highway, and then further, and then further. And I'm just running in a hamster cage. What is that noise? Oh, I was getting a call. Was that from you, Racti? I don't even have to check. I don't really feel like talking with someone right now, Racti. But after stream, for sure, if you would like to. Make a movie with a game, like, I don't... Like I said, I've had all these ideas for Dark Souls and such, but I'm not going to do them until I can do other things. I'm just not. I've wanted to do them for so long, but I've done so much Dark Souls that it's unhealthy to do only one thing for a couple of years, man. I've got all these scripts here and stuff I want to do, but if I can't do other things, then it's just... sucks. You're going to make a video with all your fans in it. Not on YouTube, it's somewhere else. Well, I mean, Recti, I don't think I don't even have, like, 100,000 subs. I don't think... I'm not sure if that would work. Don't you need, like, 1 million subs before you have, like, a meetup with people? That's why I always used to joke about, oh, 1 million subs before my face reveal, guys. 1 million subs. We'll get there. We will do it. And I'm not throwing that idea away, but that's why I always used to joke about that. A lot of the voices in her teasers are a lot of recognizable voices from way back. What do you mean? Like stuff they've done before? Like, is it a Friends cartoon? You know what sucks about the voice acting industry? They get these people in. They get these people in. And you apparently just sort of get, like, locked in. Like, once you make it over this wall, right, you stumble on the land of voice actorism or whatever, and you can get lots of jobs. I've noticed, for example, the guy that plays Kirito, how many animes is he in? I hear his voice all the time, and at first I didn't mind, but it got kind of annoying because I just kept hearing his voice in everything, and I was like, no, because anime characters are their voices. So every time a new character would introduce, bam, it's Sword Art Online Kirito. He's right there. I can't take him seriously. And it wasn't bad at first, but The more I started to hear him, like the more animes he started appearing in, I was like, okay, all right, well, there's just like this thing, and then you get into it, and then you're there, and then they'll get you for a lot of jobs. He's not the only one that's gotten a lot of voice acting jobs. Is it just that hard to find new people to voice stuff? I mean, I know you're not supposed to... you're really not supposed to take risks, right? But... it just... won't it get stale? Why does voice acting... why does the one job I want to do have to be so weird? Maybe that's why I like it. I get that kind of immersion break from famous actors or the same VAs in games that are used too much. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I thought I was the only one. I kind of felt bad. Like, I didn't want to pick on him. It's just... when I hear your voice in, like... in, like, 10 different things in a short amount of time, it's Chris Pratt, and it's him again. There are some voices that I don't like. If we're talking about just YouTube, there are some voices that I hear and I don't get sick of. But that's because it's YouTube. There's some like Aaron Hansen's voice. I've heard him in so much, and I haven't gotten sick of him. Or like Oni O'Neill, his like super unique weird voice. I love him. There's so many cool voices. Aaron Hansen has a lot of different voices. That's true. But like you can generally tell when it's him. You know what I mean? Oh, he screams in 20 different languages. Yeah. Yeah, he does. I feel like I could develop characters too. I could do that too. I want to do that too. I'm going to. I'm going to go to college in 7 days. And hopefully something can happen. Maybe? Just a direction? With a voice range as wide as mine, it's just not good to constantly be talking like this all the time. When I can talk like this. Obviously, you wouldn't practically talk like that, but I just wanted to show you how high I could go. Oh. Did you hear that? I had a little grit. Little. That's not fair. Nah, it was fine. It's okay. I'm good. There are some voice actors that only get like one. They get one job. They get one voice chance, and that's it. And if I was able to just do one and like never again, I would be content because at least I tried. At least I tried to do something instead of, you know, feeling like I should stream Dark Souls all the time and never stop thinking about streaming and YouTubing all the time. This is not good for me, man. It's not good for anyone. I wouldn't recommend. What if I just uploaded this? What if I just cut this and I uploaded it to YouTube? And I titled it like I don't know. Okay, title's work in progress. I don't want to think about it anymore. It's too quiet. Do voice dub for Final Fantasy 15. All the men in it. You would have a ball. All the Dragon Ball Z voice actors is damn near all I can't do that unless I make connections and I get in there. And I have yet to find the way to do it. If direct messaging people doesn't work, then what does? Direct messaging the friends of the people you want to direct message so that you can meet them, so that you can... Is that it? Is that what you have to do? Yes, oh yes, I direct messaged your cousin so that I could meet your sister, so that I could meet you, and so that I could... This was all a scheme, you see, so that I could get into the voice acting industry. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, it was all from the start. All planned from the start, my dear boy. Ah, yes, I was just using you to get into the voice acting business. Or, I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. I'm just having some fun. I don't want to do that. I wish there was, like, a job. Like, hey, we need someone to sound like an edgy dick. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. But no dick, though. Because that's gay. And then, you know what they would do? They would remove their glasses. And they would tell me, he's the one. They would know immediately. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. But it isn't gay if the tips don't touch. I mean, what? It's not it's not gay if you don't look him deeply in his beautiful eyes. I mean what? I guess I got into the voice acting industry by speaking to my friend's dad's uncle's best friend's wife's niece's daughter's dog. Oh yes, I got into the voice acting industry by speaking to my friend's dad's uncle's best friend's wife's niece's daughter's dog. I was walking down the street, you see, and I saw this beautiful canine led by a fine fellow, and I went over and shook his little hand, and oh, he fell in love with me on the spot, not just the dog. And that's how I made it here, fellows.